entrepreneurs. But see, our next generation is important. That's a real part of a movement. Like I said before, we remember what it was like to be that artist that didn't have that opportunity. We didn't have that extra helping hand. We didn't have connections. We didn't know where to go, what to do. And so with Pacific Bridge Arts Foundation and our amazing board that's here tonight, that's the difference we wanted to make, is we wanted to create this scholarship that can definitely help the next generation, give them mentorship. You know, maybe they need access to a studio, maybe they need an introduction to an amazing film director, who knows, you know what I mean? That's the hope. We can just keep bridging that gap. And so you guys, it's online right now, it's launched tonight, and that's what this night is for, is to bring awareness and to really, you know, hopefully next time we're up here, the stage, you're gonna see somebody that was really could benefit from that scholarship. You'll see them here performing, and that is the hope. And so, and we partnered up with the city of LA to really honor and recognize these amazing women here tonight. And so, David's gonna introduce the next.
Yes, I have the privilege to recognize and honor and bring up to the stage the next honoree. It's an organization that is near and dear to my heart. I was a former board member there, and for 40 years, they have served Asian American Pacific Islander domestic violence victims and survivors of sexual assault. And that is the Center for Pacific Asian Families. They have a 24-hour hotline number, and they are one of the very few county recognized and certified and funded domestic violence shelters, and the only Asian American domestic violence shelter. So let's give it up for the Center for Pacific Asian Families. Such an honor for all the work that you do, for all Asian American Pacific Islander women in the city of Los Angeles. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. It's great to see so many people out here celebrating API History Month as well as celebrating API Women. And just thank you for this evening. At the Center for Pacific Asian Family, or CPAF, our work supports survivors and celebrates the resilience of these strong API women who do not let the trauma of domestic violence and sexual assault affect their lives. We help them become capable and empower themselves during this journey. And I was actually inspired by Milk's song where she said, you know, turning tears into gold, and that is really what we're trying to do. So thank you so much for honoring us and for your support of our organization.
So on behalf of the City of Los Angeles, we'd like to present to you on Asian Heritage Month, just honoring Center for Pacific Asian Families. Thank you so very much.
All right, so we have another award, the last one for tonight. I have the honor and the privilege to present this award. This is the Activism Award, and this honoree has done more in her life than before she could drink than most people have done in their entire lives. She's the founder and executive director of Period.org, an organization she founded at the age of 16. Period is now the largest youth-run NGO in women's health. In 2017, she ran for office in Cambridge, Massachusetts. She was the youngest Asian American woman to run for office. While she did not win, her campaign team made historic waves in mobilizing young people on the ground and at the polls. Most recently, she was named to InStyles magazine's The Badass 50, Meet the Women Who Are Changing the World, and the list included Michelle Obama, Ariana Grande, Dr. Christine Blasey Ford, so she's in very good company. And she's about to be featured in the Asian Boss Girl podcast. I would like to honor the Activism Award to Nadya Okamoto.
Hi everyone, this is such an honor to be up here, and in complete transparency, it's very recent that I've been proud to be Asian American. Until about a couple years ago when I ran for office, I grew up feeling pretty ashamed of my background. I'm half Japanese and half Taiwanese. And I think that, you know, knowing the historic background, I grew up with a lot of verbiage around me, whether it be around, you know, sort of the asshole imperialist side of Japanese Americans that I heard from my Taiwanese side, but from my Taiwanese side, or hearing from my Taiwanese side, but from my Japanese side, hearing about sort of, you know, when we wash our hands, washing the dirty Chinese, and that had remnants off of us, right? And when I was 9, my mom moved my younger sisters and I to Portland, Oregon, which is the whitest major city in the United States. And I remember in the first month of my 5th grade year in Portland, Oregon, 3 kids were expelled or suspended because they kept asking me if I could see the sun, or they kept telling me that their parents were gonna hide their dog when I came over in case I would eat the dog with my chopsticks, right? And for me, I think because of this model minority, I never felt empowered to speak out about that racism, right? Instead, I just internalized it. In middle school, I would wake up early to put on more black eyeliner because I wanted my eyes to be bigger, but looking back, I just looked ridiculously like a raccoon. And when I would get older, I would tell everyone that I hated math when really I loved it and I was really good at it. But thank God I grew up with a badass mom who's here tonight. I grew up with a mom who would tell me all the time that because I'm Asian American, the world around me will see me as someone who they will expect to be more submissive, a little bit quieter, laugh with my hands in front of me. And so she pushed me to be bolder, to be louder, to speak up for what I believed in. So when I was 16 and I heard these stories from homeless women who were in much worse living situations than I was in at the time, and at that time my family was experiencing living without a home of our own ourselves, and I heard their stories of using toilet paper and socks and brown paper grocery bags and cardboard to take care of their periods. And I learned through Google that in 2014, 40 states in the US tax period products as luxury items, but products like Rogaine and Viagra are still today considered essential goods and don't have that tax. When I learned that from the boldness my mom instilled in me, the natural next step was to start a nonprofit. And I didn't know what that meant. I just knew that it was the adult word for like doing something good for your community, right? But I learned what it was and I created this organization, and that same sort of energy that I got from my mom carried me to when I was a freshman at Harvard and I learned about the housing affordability and gentrification, got mad at city council, Googled one day what it took to run for office, learned you had to be 18, and I felt overqualified because I was 19 years old at the time.
You got it!
I'm still figuring out what that word means, and I think it's a little ridiculous that so many cultures are lumped into one label, but I feel like I'm really embracing this sort of community around it, and I'm so happy to be here today. And I really am dedicating this award to all the incredible Asian American leaders who've come before us, like Aquafina paving the way, but also for all the young Asian American sisters specifically who are going to come after us with the same sort of pride and boldness in who we are and where we come from. Thank you.
So on behalf of the City of Los Angeles, on Asian Heritage Month, we'd like to honor Nadya Okamoto. Thank you so much.
You guys make some noise one more time for our honorees. Our final act for the night is a true pioneer.